FM.
You'll be back for more. Think about it. It applies to so many of us in so many different situations. Jaguars back at it today on the practice field. Got a ton on that coming up. Also, Tim Brando. He is 11 minutes away. Timmy B's got a big one tonight. Buffalo in Minneapolis against the Golden Gophers. So I'll have that on FS1. That begins at 8 o'clock. I can't believe what I just saw. Boise State at South Florida. And I just watched the Boise State wide receiver catch a ball. And I want to believe what I saw was in fact true because I have outstanding eyes, compliments of the good folks over at Shmina's Vision. But he dropped an AK-47 on us. And I'm like, wait a minute, maybe it was a first down. But ESPN was awful quick to show the reception and immediately remove the gesture from the replay. So, hey, kids are going to do what kids do, but the timing is just awful. And, I mean, I don't even know what else I can say as far as that is concerned. But, hey, college football is back, right? I mean, we got a bunch of games tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday. It's an enormous weekend coming up on Saturday. And, I've taken a lot of heat today, believe it or not, from some Seminole fans because I did tweet out earlier, and it was an honest question, and it remains an honest question. Sounds a little bit like this. Let me find the exact tweet. Let's see here. X, Twitter, whatever you call it. Here it is. Honest question. How many Knowles fans right now would take a rain delay, lightning, and a cancellation on Saturday with no makeup date? It's an honest question. All right, you're dodging a bully. You're asking yourself out. You're tapping out of a game against an opponent that wants nothing to do with you. Kind of like Florida a few years ago wanted nothing to do with Florida State during COVID. Kind of like when Clemson came all the way to Tallahassee, really wanted nothing to do with the Mike Norvell squad in that matchup in God's country. What would you rather have? I think it's a very fair question. Some people have taken it the wrong way, and frankly, some of their responses have been totally inappropriate. But I'm going to be able to get through that. Here's where I am with it, okay? No, I'm not going to turn the cheek. No, I'm not going to play Kenny Rogers. No, I'm not going to be the coward of the county. I want to play the game. And I want to see what Florida State has. And I'm going to be rooting for them to win. If it gets ugly, if it gets out of hand, okay, I really hope it's a slaughter. I do. I hope it's a blowout because you know what that does? It gets Florida State one step closer to firing Mike Norvell. So I want the game. I think the normal me looking at an inferior product against Alabama would typically say, yeah, man, lightning sounds great. Rain sounds great. Everything sounds great. Yeah, let's go with it. Let's run with it. Let's do it. And that's not the case. This year, I want to see it. Let's go, And I'll be shocked if Mike Norvell is able to survive the 2025 season. I just don't see it. Again, I really hope I'm wrong. I do. I mean, there's nothing I like more than to be wrong and to have you remind me of it. In 1996, I said that the Jaguars would never win another game when I was on the ball. Mike Bianchi was the columnist at the time. He put it in the Florida Times unit. There's still some old school players who remind me of that. That happened back in 1996. I have been wrong before, and I'll never run away from being wrong. Micah Parsons moved really yes, I'm surprised. Typically, we have this, Hendrickson, you have it with McLaren. It doesn't matter who it is, they get signed for the most part. He faked the back, which is disturbing. And obviously, Jaguars now, infamously, you'll never forget that, nor should you. I will always remain a Jalen Ramsey fan, but he quit on you. And that's so hard to overcome. That is so difficult to deal with. These statute of limitations are long gone now, so I can comfortably say this. One of the most uncomfortable situations I've ever seen in Jacksonville, well, the first is without any doubt the day they cut Andre Rison. That was bizarre, okay? And that's a six-pack minimum that we're going to have on our own if you want that story told, the correct version of it. Several others, but Jalen Ramsey in Denver, when the chartered flight had a technical issue, and our flight back was delayed for 2, 3, 4 hours. I don't know what it was. They wheeled in a bunch of food, and everyone was watching the Sunday night game. But that's when Jalen had totally isolated himself from the team. It was him against the team, and everyone was there, the players, the coaches, the staff, and Jalen was by himself in the corner of the locker room in Denver. I don't know if it got to that point with Micah Parsons, okay, because I don't cover the Dallas Cowboys. I've seen a lot. I know you've seen a lot. But if it got anywhere near that, and we saw him lay down on the trainer's table during the final preseason game, you probably have to cut bait and move them, even though you become a worse football team after that move is made. And that was the case here, obviously, with Jalen Ramsey. You are unable to fix that drama. I thought they would be able to fix it in Dallas, but apparently that's not the deal. He goes to Green Bay. He signs a 4-year, $188 million deal, $120 million at signing, and then $136 million will be totally guaranteed. The Cowboys are going to get Kenny Clark, who's a defensive tackle, and a couple of future first-round draft picks in 26 and 27. As I just said to Frank and Hayes, though, I mean, Jerry's 83. Jerry Jones turns 83 in October. I would have to believe that his thinking is one more, right? You can't think 3, 4, 5 more when you're 83 years of age. I mean, wouldn't one more Super Bowl, wouldn't one more Lombardi trophy be good enough for Jerry Jones at the very end of his career? Now, the other side, maybe he thinks he can live another 15 years or so. I don't know. But they're not a better team by moving Micah Parsons. So I am very surprised that this actually did take place. All right, good news for the Jags. Travis Hunter, his return. He was working today with the wide receivers in the white jerseys, then put on the teal penny and did some work as well during group work defensively. We got our first look at Tim Patrick wearing number 17. We got our first look in quite some time at Cole Van Lanen, who was out really the entire month of August. I think it goes back to very late July when he went down. It was just Buster Brown today we saw working with the training staff, and Wyatt Milam, the only two who were not part of what happened. They added a couple of players to the practice squad today, a defensive tackle in Matt Dickerson. Actually, he's a defensive lineman. He's kind of a tweener. And they got a wide receiver out of Texas Tech. I believe you pronounce it Eric Azuk and Ama. Okay, so they added a fairly decent-sized wide receiver. Afternoon meetings canceled after B.J. Green, the rookie, caught a punt. The place went nuts at the Miller Electric Center. That was a pretty good day. We heard from Trevor. We heard from Liam Cohen. We're going to play all that for you coming up in just a little bit. But I do want to stay with college football as we get things rolling right here on this Thursday night, because we're absolutely thrilled that we get the opportunity to talk once again with our good friend Tim Brando, despite the fact that he's calling a game in just a couple hours. How cool is that? So Timmy Brando on the other side. I will tell you that Shmunez Vision brings you the comments as we get things rolling right here on Into the Night. More than 37 years worth of surgery experience when you look at Dr. John Hunt, Dr. Catherine Schmunez, Dr. Neil Schmunez. Regardless of what your situation is, it's time for a prescription update, right? While you're there, fire away questions. You may be a candidate for laser eye surgery. How cool would that be? Never having to deal with, once again, looking for your readers or, falling asleep with your contacts in. If you think there's a issue and you're concerned about it, make an appointment today at Schmunez Vision. All right, cataract surgery, refractive surgery, all very common. And as I said a moment ago, more than 37 years worth of experience when you talk about those three doctors. Online, Schmunez Vision. On Instagram, go to Schmunez Vision as well. You'll get all the feedback from very happy individuals who go there, like myself and others. All right, we got a lot to do tonight. 641-1010 text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Let's welcome those in watching on YouTube tonight at 1010XL into the night. Let's kick it off with some college football from Fox Sports. Tim Brando joins Rick Ballou on the other side.
Get ready to go viral with us.
Jeff Prosser and Dan Hickett on the Swamp Sessions podcast.
It's No Holds Barred, live streamed on the 1010XL social channels right after every Gator game.
From Voodoo Brewing Company.
Driven by Atlantic Infinity. Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey, school's in session, and here's today's lesson. We have hundreds of certified vehicles to choose from, starting as low as $89.99. Plus, they come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile peace of mind warranty and free oil changes. That means you and your soon-to-be drivers will be protected. Plus, every purchase allows us to fund teachers' projects for the entire school year. Your next assignment, get to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine, Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville, or Beaver Mitsubishi in St. Augustine. We're here to wow you and our teachers.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Summer turns the corner, and we prepare for fall with a new season of college football. 1010XL's College Football Kickoff Week is cranked up by AA Automotive on Richard Street. Family run since 1954.
Plan ahead this year and order your home holiday decorating from Kuhn Flowers. They'll take care of all of your Christmas tree setup, lighting, and decorating hassles too. This is High Flying Jacko. Call on Kuhn Flowers. They'll do it all this fall.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
These are the last days for Monahan Jewelers store-wide 40 to 50% off sale. These are the biggest savings we could possibly offer, with everything on display discounted 40 to 50% off, ending Saturday, August 30th. We've bought so much brand new jewelry, we need to make room for it, and the only way to do that is to give you huge deals at 40 to 50% off everything. And the sale ends this Saturday, August 30th. Diamond jewelry, colored gemstones, gold chains, everything. Everything on display is 40 to 50% off at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Pickett here with a game winner. It's Checkmate Coatings. I've scouted them all, and this Jacksonville crew's the real deal.
I'm Brendan, owner of Checkmate Coatings. We transform pool decks, driveways, and patios with pro precision.
Score big at checkmatecoatings.com. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It's good to have you with us. Much coming up from the Jaguars here momentarily, including my conversation with Ventrell Miller. So all of that coming up in just a couple of minutes. I'll tell you, tonight's show is brought to you by Alexander Law Practice. If you've been in a car crash, well, that's problematic, and you may be injured personally, all right? You're wounded, broken bones, no matter what it may be. Also, your vehicle could be destroyed. You may be all alone. You may be thinking, there's no place that I can turn. Wrong. Alexander Law Practice. Free call, free consultation, 400-6600. Immediately, you're going to get a call back. Then they're going to look at what's going on. You're going to get individualized care that you deserve. And then you fire away questions, right? I can't afford to get to work. I can't afford to get my vehicle fixed. These are the type of questions you ask Rick Alexander and the good folks at Alexander Law Practice. And who knows? They could take care of that for you. That could all be a part of the plan depending on what did take place. I'll tell you what, you'll never be out of pocket, okay? So take this down. Alexander Law Practice or a free call, 400-6600. I hope none of you out there have been injured, but if that is the case, you need to know about AlexanderLawPractice.com.
Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece.
My goodness, tonight in downtown Minneapolis, it is the Golden Gophers. They are taking on Buffalo, and we are thrilled once again to have our weekly conversation with Tim Brando. He is with Fox Sports, and I've been working with Timmy B now for decades, and he joins us here on the home of the Jaguars, 92.5 FM. Timmy B, how you been?
Magnificent. I've already got one game in the books. Where have you been? I've got two this week. I've got the one tonight, and then I've got the one on Saturdays. I'm ready to roll, baby. I've got Minnesota tonight, and they're home against a good Buffalo team. They won 11 games last year, so it's not a walkover by any stretch. And then I'm off to Ames, Iowa for South Dakota. Again, another, the Coyotes are really good, too. Won't be easy for the guys at Iowa State after getting back into the country from Ireland. So that'll be on right after the Texas-Ohio State game on Fox, 2:30 Central, 3:30 Eastern on Saturday.
Yeah. What a great lead-in, too, with Texas, Ohio State. I mean, all the press that is getting. Just a huge kickoff there on I guess week one of the college football season.
Biggest one in my lifetime, I think. I say that with, I know you're understanding how far back in this business I go as it relates to college football. There may have been games, single games, or maybe two games that would rival the two biggest games that are being played between LSU, Clemson, and Ohio State, Texas, that are getting the most of the pregame ramp-up. But, I mean, my God, Alabama, Florida State's not bad. I mean, there's a ton of games, a ton of really big-time, good matchups that normal weekends would be huge. And, I mean, just literally in every time zone, it's going to be wall-to-wall ball, and it's all going to be very, very competitive.
Yeah.
And I don't remember a week one where you had such a smorgasbord of great games, and they're sprinkled in from Thursday all the way through Labor Day, Monday night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be spectacular. How much do things change knowing now that you can lose this game and you're absolutely still in the college football playoff?
Oh, that's a great question. I think it's a lot. I mean, I've got Ohio State winning the national championship again, but I have them losing tomorrow. Saturday. So, I mean, I think I think that Arch Manning's experience factor, when weighed against the starter at Ohio State, Julian Sain, is I think it's huge. I think the fact that he's started a game at Texas, that he's played in big game situations, at least a little. A little is a lot when it's compared to a guy getting the first time to ever start, and he's having to play the game at home on national television against the preseason number one team, against the team that you beat in the playoffs a year before that's returning a lot of that talent. Ohio State could win the game. I'm not saying that they won't, but I'm saying I believe Texas is right now in a better position to win this game than the Buckeyes. And, that's saying something as good as Ohio State is. And I think they will get really well as the season prolongs because even though they lost, 17 of the 22 guys, the guys that are coming in have all had playing time.
Mm-hmm.
They've all had a lot of playing time.
Right.
And they're all five-star players. So, or there may be a few sprinkled in 4 stars, and that's about it. But I think they'll be tremendous at the end of the year. Rick, we're looking at a time now in college football. Fans have got to adjust and understand that as big as these games are, you win national championships now based on being built for the long haul. I mean, Ohio State won the national title last year and lost 2 times. Texas is the preseason number 1, and hell, they still haven't beaten Georgia yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you've got a chance to get a makeover and develop as the season goes on. So I think it matters a lot more now to have better players and more depth of players at every position to weather the grind of a 9-game conference schedule in the conferences outside the SEC. And now that the SEC is going to go to 9 games beginning next year, I think that we're staring down the barrel of having not just 2 lost champions, but maybe even 3 lost champions within the next 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as long as you don't get blown out, or even if you do, if it's early, still an opportunity to come back. Tim Brando at Fox Sports got a big one tonight, Buffalo and Minnesota. That'll be at 8 o'clock on FS1. Then on Saturday, right after Texas, Ohio State, South Dakota taking on Iowa. All right, the great unknown is right down the road here, about 150-plus miles. That is at Florida State. You just don't know. And Mike Norvell's canceled, the media as far as any access whatsoever to watching anything that happened during the fall. And here comes Alabama, and, they're licking their wounds. That wasn't a Bama year at 9-4. What do you make of this game coming up on Saturday?
Well, I think there's still some question marks for me. Not maybe as many as Ohio State has a quarterback, but I don't know about Alabama's starter either. I mean, what do we really know? He won the job, yes. He does have Ryan Grubb now on the staff, which certainly has got to help Kalen DeBoer. I think that's an advantage. Probably hurt that last year Jalen Milroe, was trying to, I was like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. I think the kind of offense that they have, based on what I'm hearing, Timpson, is that this is a kid that might be a better fit for what Kalen DeBoer wants to do. That said, this is, I think, a tough time to be on the road in Tallahassee because we know Florida State has reloaded. They feel very confident in what they have. But it does look like perhaps a bridge too far to play Alabama, to open your season. But stranger things have happened, Rick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have. And Norvell, I think you would have to agree, is coaching for his life.
Yes.
At Florida State. I mean, there's a lot. Very few coaches today have to worry about their jobs. I think, first of all, because the donors, the same ones that have to pay off coaches,
mm-hmm.
they're being asked to pay players now.
Yeah.
So it's a little harder to go get that money to pay off the coach. But that was a Herculean drop-off from a preseason top 10 to a 2-win season. And so I think that probably of all the games out there, the Alabama-Florida State game is the one that's being the most easily overlooked. That could be a game to remember. It has the potential for that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pick Florida State to win the game. I certainly think they can cover. I would take the points and run with it for sure.
Yep, that's 13.5, somewhere in that neighborhood, folks, loading up on Alabama. All right, the Battle of Death Valleys, LSU to Clemson. Your thoughts?
Another game in which I think LSU will lose, but still make the playoff. I think college football's playoff has proven now that you can drop a game, even an important game, and still get credit for it. I think Tate Klubnik is the best quarterback, I think, in the country. I don't think he's not just the best quarterback in the ACC. I think he's the best quarterback in the country returning this year.
Wow.
And you add to the fact that Clemson's now got a defense that would rival the ones that they had when they were winning 2 out of 3 opportunities at national championships, and 2 of those wins against Alabama when they were able to pull it off. Those teams had great defensive fronts and linebackers, and Clemson's got that. Dabo got the memo about the portal and about NIL. And
yes, he did.
The people that he plugged in through the transfer portal, I think, have made them just an amazing team. And individually, that school, I think, is going to prop up the ACC in ways that league desperately needed. And so I think Clemson's going to win the game against LSU. In a lot of ways, some people in Louisiana, Rick, are concerned that Brian Kelly's put so much emphasis on this year's opening game that they had to change the narrative, that they finally got to get off the schneid. They let the games, especially last year's game with USC, they let them off the hook. They gave that game away.
Mm-hmm.
And you can make a case the Florida State game a couple of years back. They did the same thing. So I realize why he felt the need to put emphasis on it, but the fans in Louisiana are concerned that might have a psychological effect on his team if they don't win it. And they may be right, but I think LSU is really, really good and much better defensively. And I think that Nussmeier is the best quarterback returning in the SEC. So I have a lot of faith in him. I just think Klubnik's better.
Yeah.
And if you say the game is a toss-up, and some in LSU country would say that, I'd say advantage to the home team's Death Valley. I would.
Mm-hmm.
So I like Clemson to win the game, but I think LSU is a playoff team. And I also think Clemson's a playoff team, regardless of who wins. But I do think Clemson right now is the team, a little bit like my Texas pick over Ohio State. The differences here are, maturation at the quarterback position. And I think the Nussmeier-Klubnik comparison makes it a wash. It's even. And I think Clemson's defense is really better than LSU's. LSU's better, but I don't know that their defensive front is as trustworthy as Clemson's is right now.
We'll find out. As we wrap things up, is Brother Bino, is he back with us this year?
I was so happy. My dad Corso's having his last game day.
Yeah.
And they did that. They even got Brando to be in the documentary. Did you see that? They're crying out loud.
Yeah.
I thought, for God, what are they thinking at Disney?
Yep.
He works at Fox. Steve, I couldn't believe it. Unbelievable.
I got 2 words for you, Brother Bino. Catholics, convicts.
Catholics and convicts. Ultra Dave and Miami. Well, the Irish have the material. They no longer have Rod Powers, so I'm going Miami.
All right, and let's go with the weekly. Tim Brando flying the ointment game.
Well, is there any doubt that I'm going to just lay the number with Bryant Vincent and say that the Fighting Warhawks of ULM are going to start out? Last year they began 5-0. This year they begin 6-0 and get bowl eligible.
Yeah.
Take ULM in its opener.
Tim Brando tonight has Buffalo at Minnesota. That's 8 o'clock on FS1. Then Iowa State playing host to South Dakota. He'll have that for you at 3:30 on Fox. Of course, that'll come on right after the Texas-Ohio State game at noon. Timmy B, always a pleasure. Have a great call. 2 calls this weekend, and look forward to talking with you next week.
You got it, my friend. Anytime.
There he goes, Tim Brando. And, I appreciate him being with us as we move closer to kickoff tonight, Minnesota and Buffalo. And, again, Ames, Iowa this weekend. Iowa State and South Dakota. Actually, a ton of football going on right now. 25th ranked Boise State at South Florida. 7-3 Boise State. Rutgers playing host to Ohio, locked at 7. Lafayette at Bowling Green is delayed. Wonder if that weather is headed to God's country on Saturday. East Carolina at NC State is coming up. Jacksonville State. Mike Norvell didn't have him play prevent defense against Jacksonville State, but Delaware State, St. Francis at UL Monroe. All right. Speaking of the Warhawks, Wyoming and Akron tonight, Central Arkansas and Missouri, Elon and Duke, UT Martin and Oklahoma State, Stephen F. Austin and Houston, Alabama State, UAB, and then finally tonight, Nebraska and Cincinnati. That is in Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium. That'll be at 9 o'clock. I'll have to check out that one. Miami of Ohio at Wisconsin and Stony Brook at San Diego State. So, gamblers will be all over these games. I think passionate college football fans, you'll find your way to the Tube tonight to watch a couple of these. Casual fans, you'll probably kick back till Saturday. That's my guess. Nonetheless, thank you to Tim Brando. And again, I worked with Timmy decades ago in Chicago at Sporting News and Sporting News Radio, and he's good enough to be with us each and every week throughout the course of the college football season. All right, when we get back, let's start to get you involved with everything that is going on. Certainly, Jaguar stuff is good. I haven't really asked you about these college football games. If you want to voice your opinion, I mean, these are monsters. Texas and Ohio State. Feels like everyone is taking Texas outside of our guest a moment ago in Tim Brando. Actually, he's taken Texas, right? But he likes Ohio State to win the national title.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what he said. All right, Bama at FSU. Is there a Florida State fan alive who thinks that they can win this game? Honestly. Is there one alive right now? Notre Dame at Miami. That's the most difficult one for me to pick. C.J. Carr, a guy who has, no experience against Carson Beck, who has a ton of experience. What a game that's going to be Sunday night. And then, of course, LSU at Clemson. So you want to join the conversation on any of that, 641-1010. That is brought to you by our text line, which is Lifetime Enclosures, and as well on YouTube watching right now. If you want to watch us on YouTube, you can. Just go to 1010XL into the night.
Say goodbye to glasses and contacts with customized vision treatments at Bowden Associates. Hey, Hicken here. Dr. Bowden and his expert team bring you all the latest options like Evo implantable Caliber lenses, refractive lens exchange, or traditional LASIK. Tailored just for you. Imagine waking up to clear vision. No hassle, no fuss. You ready to see the difference? Call now or visit BowdenEye.com for a free screening. Bowden Associates, keeping the first coast focused.
Fall is here. The air is crisp. Football is on, and the perfect backyard atmosphere starts with a high-quality fireplace from CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Hey, it's Joe C. Imagine nights by the fire, cheering on your team, surrounded by friends and family. CSS can transform your outdoor space into the ultimate game day destination. Stylish, warm, and built for memories. With several wood, gas, and electric options, let CSS make your backyard the best seat in the house. Visit CSSFireplaces.com.
At Performance Painting, we've spent decades protecting commercial properties with durable, long-lasting coatings. And we can bring the same expertise when painting the exterior of your home. With industry-leading materials and a proven process, we extend the life of your home, reducing maintenance costs and preserving its value. Now, for a limited time, save $500 when you hire us to paint your home's exterior. Just mention 1010XL. Go to performancepainting.com to schedule a friendly estimate. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Mark Watson here to tell you a little bit about hardballcreative.com. It's your online promo haven with thousands of ideas on how to promote your company. We're open 24/7, 365.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
When your plumbing backs up, your septic's acting shady, or your AC quits on a 95-degree day, who are you going to call? Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Don't take just our word for it. Here's what real customers are saying about their experience with our company.
Megan in the office was so helpful and polite. Scheduling was easy, and the tech showed up right on time.
From plumbing and septic to air conditioning, we do it all. Call 904-862-6769 or online at duckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
You're shrimping a bed.
Playoff-bound Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp are in full swing at the newly renovated VyStar Ballpark. Your home for affordable family fun. Tickets start at just $5. Fireworks after every Friday home game, and kids round the bases after Sunday games. Log on to jackshrimp.com for tickets and details. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, affordable family fun.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I've been telling you about my daughter's journey with Awaken 180 as she tries to lose a little weight. In fact, last week you heard from Amber herself. Well, let me give you an update. She's been in it just a little over 2 months. Amber has lost 51 pounds. That's a real number. I wouldn't have believed it if I didn't see it happen. She has lost 51 pounds. And here's why. Awaken 180 is not a diet. It's a lifestyle change that is sustainable, and she has figured that out. She loves the journey. She loves the new recipes. She loves that she fits into her old clothes and she sleeps better and has more energy, and it is really, really working. She's proud, and man, am I proud of her. If you want to start your transformation, you can do the same thing. Call 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com. My daughter's lost 50 pounds, and she's so excited about it. You can as well. 844-346-1800 or awaken180weightloss.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
A lot of college football going on. 1 week from tonight, it's the NFL. If you missed the Philly Godfather, my goodness, did he give us some futures. Last night, I may rerun that interview tomorrow. During high school football, I'm on 1010 only on Fridays from 4 to 6. So that'll be tomorrow, 4 to 6. Give me an opportunity to be at the Blue Crab House every Friday from here on out at about 6:30, maybe 6:45. Yeah, I love the regular 6 to 8, don't get me wrong. But high school football is incredibly important. And especially around here with a ton of talent. So that'll begin tomorrow. I may rerun that if you missed it. With the Philly Godfather, he did pick these 4 games. Dylan and I are going to get to him here in just a little bit. And tell you what, I'm struggling with 3 out of these 4 games. I just don't. I've gone back and forth with Miami and Notre Dame. To me, when I look at Miami and Notre Dame, it comes down to the quarterback, doesn't it? A guy who has all these starts and Carson Beck and a very good offensive line against a team that is more disciplined, probably a better team. Heck, they just went to the national title, albeit they lost a lot, but a very young quarterback in C.J. Carr. To me, quarterback experience in big-time games like this means an awful lot. I don't think Miami has any home field advantage. Notre Dame fans are everywhere. I pulled into the Miller Electric Center today. I'd love to know whose truck it is. On one side, it was a New York Yankees sticker. On the other side, it was a Dallas Cowboys sticker. Seriously, how do you become that?
I know I got a buddy that's a Yankee, Laker, and an Alabama fan.
What a mutt. A mutt who eats caviar.
And he's a I fan.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'll never try to tell you how to be a fan. I won't. But man, I get asked all the time, you were in Chicago. Aren't you kind of a Cubs fan? Aren't you kind of a Blackhawks fan? I'm like, no. Absolutely not. I'm Boston. I went to Florida State. Obviously, being here for the years that I've been here, you get where I am with the Jaguars. But maybe he's from Dallas and he moved to New York and he became a Yankees fan. Maybe he's just out here visiting. I don't know. But I find it pretty hard to believe. But to me, that's the most difficult game, Notre Dame in Miami. Have you had a deep thought on this one yet, Dylan?
Not really. Just listen to what JJ's told me a little bit off the break, between shows, what he thinks is going to happen. I think the toughest game for me is LSU Clemson because I really want to feel like LSU is a really good team, but man, Brian Kelly's teams, the week one with both losses to Florida State both years and to USC, I don't know how I'm going to feel for LSU Clemson, especially with it being at Clemson.
I don't think Brian Kelly's a great coach. I thought he struggled at times at Notre Dame, and he struggled at times here at LSU. What Tim Brando said was correct. LSU gave that game away 3 years ago to Florida State. Florida State had that game sealed. Remember, they were on the goal line, they fumbled, and they allowed LSU to go like 99 yards in less than 2 minutes. That's another problem for Norvell. Even during that win streak, the man can't close. He struggles to close. And, you know, he plays to the level of competition. Last year, Florida was clearly a better football team than Florida State. You saw what the Gators did to Florida State. The 2 years prior to that, with Jordan Travis, or if you go back even 3 years ago, the game in Tallahassee, Florida State was a much better team than Florida. They just barely eked out that win with Jordan Travis playing maybe, arguably, the greatest game that a Florida State quarterback has ever played with his Houdini act, with his escapability. And yet, Florida State should have blown him out. But that's what a Mike Norvell team does, is that they play to the level of the competition. And it's hard. It's hard to win that way. A Mario Cristobal team did the same thing last year with Miami. How many times did Miami just find a way to pull it out very late in the game? I remember that game at California when California was doing whatever they wanted. It was a late game. I think it was like a 10:30 start. And Miami finally found a way. But that's poor coaching. That's poor preparation. College football is different from the NFL. All right, you should be able to put teams away. And there's an example of two programs that have not been able to do that. Even during a 19-game win streak, Florida State unable to do that. Getting quite a few people now coming in here on Florida State. 1223 FSU fan. Hopefully they can win. Yes. Do I think they will win? I go back and forth. Home game, packed stadium, newness everywhere. Why not? Well, I'm all for it. The why not would be, well, Bama's a better team. They have better players and better coaches. That's the why not. Let's see. Ballou, do you have a prediction for the Florida State-Alabama game? I do. Alabama 42, Florida State 17. That's my prediction. I think it gets really ugly in the second half. And I expect to be back here on Monday getting a lot of questions from you asking me what is the official number for the buyout on Mike Norvell. Hey, I'll be here for it.
Tuesday, not Monday. Labor Day.
Are we off Monday?
We are off Monday.
Look, man, I love this gig so much. I don't want any time off. Do we have any big games on Monday? Don't we have Bill Belichick Monday night?
Him and TCU.
How about that? That'll be pretty intriguing. Boy, but of all of these games, even as great as Texas Ohio State is, I don't know why. I find myself more fascinated with that Notre Dame Miami game. To me, that is the most appealing game, in my opinion.
I think that's one, and then right behind it at two is LSU Clemson. I think that's the 1 and 2. Those are two coin flip games, I think. I think those are two games that are also going to come down to the wire.
Mm-hmm.
It can go either way.
No. Getting a couple of folks here telling me Florida State's going to win this game. I appreciate the enthusiasm, and I appreciate the want. That's cool. I haven't seen it. I know that people that I'm with think of it as not being the case. But someone once said, I don't remember who it was, that's why they play the games.
Every tackle, basket, and crack of the bat. Your radio home for play-by-play is 1010XL.
Denny Thompson here. Look, don't get left in the dark. We're all trying to reason with hurricane season, so at least be prepared. For top-of-the-line generators in Jacksonville, I turn to Tyson. Licensed pros at Tyson deliver reliable, whole-home standby generators and provide fast repair service. They even do custom installations for local businesses, so don't wait. Ensure seamless installation and peace of mind. Call Tyson now, 904-762-1000 for a free estimate on generator services. TysonInc.com.
After our son's shoulder issues were worsening, we took him to see Dr. Snyder at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, who recommended PRP treatment. We trusted Dr. Snyder's evaluation and look forward to seeing him pitch again. For the right care, the best care, we highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 28, 1977, Nolan Ryan strikes out 300 batters for his 5th consecutive year.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
All right, Prosser here, and I've been telling you about Chad and Sandy. They make the promise. Let me show you some of the proof. This is Nicoletta and Daniel in Panther Creek. We don't recommend this, but we bought our new house before we sold our old one. Then worst case scenario happened. Our old home failed to sell in a year with another realtor. Finally, we got smart. We hired Chad and Sandy, and they sold it in 10 days above asking price. These are the results you're getting with Chad and Sandy at chadandsandy.com. Area homes are selling, but you got to have the right people on your side. Maybe you want max price. Doesn't matter if you're buying or selling. Maybe you just want to sell right now. Well, fast, easy, and stress-free, that's what Chad and Sandy bring to you. They have this guarantee. They guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. They're the local real estate experts you can trust for all of your real estate needs. Go to chadandsandy.com today. That's chadandsandy.com, or call that help hotline, 904-414-6200.
If you've been in a big truck accident, you need a lawyer that specializes in big trucks. A lawyer who knows all the federal traffic rules that can affect your case.
And who can navigate the complex web of laws dealing with the trucking company, the leasing company, the shipper, and all the other details that can complicate your case.
At Farah & Farah, we've seen it all, and we're ready to go the long haul to fight for you. Jacksonville.
Upgrade her diamond ring this summer with no money down and 0 interest for 5 years. Don't miss this killer offer from Beard's Diamonds. 5 years, 0 interest financing till the year 2030. Not just on engagement rings, also on earrings, bracelets, bands, colored gemstone jewelry. Buy now and pay nothing down and spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest. So that $5,000 gift comes out to just $85 a month. Beard's Diamonds is Jacksonville's locally owned source for exquisite jewelry. We can do things the big corporate jewelers can only dream of, like lowering interest rates all the way down to 0. All GIA certified diamonds are included in this. Rounds, princess cuts, ovals, pear shapes, cushion cuts, emerald cuts. Whether you get a $5,000 diamond or a $50,000 diamond, you can spread your payments over 5 whole years. Get the Beard's Diamonds unbeatable price. Pay 0 down and spread your payments over 5 years. But hurry, this is a limited time offer that ends August 31st and will not be extended. Beard's Diamonds, St. John's Town Center. Shop local. Shop Beards. On approved credit, some restrictions apply. See store for details.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The Jaguars got their afternoon meetings off because of the hands of B.J. Green, one of the 2 undrafted free agents to make the 53-man roster. He caught a punt to end practice. And I was interviewing Ventrell Miller. B.J. Green came by, got another pretty good look at him. He made some plays. And, you know, James Gladstone talked about this yesterday. This guy went out and won the job. And that's really cool to see. I think he could be involved in this. I would expect him, you know, probably be a scratch on game day. I don't know that. I'm just thinking out loud here when you go from 53 to 48. But that happened a little bit earlier today. It was reported in a couple of different places. I saw it with Field Yates at ESPN. The Jaguars did extend a waiver for Bo Brady, a safety. All right. The waiver wire works just like the draft, and it continues for every player. If you get a player, you don't lose the spot. And Jacksonville was in good shape at number 5. At least you would have thought they're in good shape. The problem was the Giants are at 3. They took him. So Bo Brady was the guy that Jacksonville tried to claim off waivers. It makes you wonder, safety's been a position of lengthy conversation that we have had. And it is a big blow with Caleb Ransaw. Yesterday I asked James Gladstone about Ransaw, and it was a boot. It was a non-contact drill, and they hoped that after some time spent in the boot that he would be okay. That was not the case, and surgery instead did take place. So as we know, Ransaw gone for the year. But, it feels like Dewey's working with the starters. He's primarily it as your number 2 safety. Then you still have Antonio Johnson. You still have Darnell Savage. In my opinion, if they did pick up Bo Brady, that would have been it for Savage. And I before I continue on here, I just want to take a quick look. Savage has a cap figure of $4,682,000. Oh boy. I say pre-June 1st. We're in post-June 1st. Let's see. All right, but he would have had a buyout of $4 million. $4,050,000. And that's a drop in the bucket. If you look at the Jaguars, for crying out loud, dead money-wise, they're $69,528,000. Insane money. Just insane. And again, if you're joining us for the first time and you hear us talk about this at all during the offseason, they gave $40 million, almost $42 million to 3 players to leave. Brandon Sheriff, Christian Kirk, and Evan Ingram. And those will come off the books. They also gave $7.7 million to Roy Robertson Harris, who they traded last year. Gabriel Davis, $5.7 million. So, hey, listen, you had to weed out. And I'm not trying to say this about Kirk and Ingram. I thought they were solid players. I didn't think that about Roy Robertson Harris. I certainly did not think that about Gabe Davis. But I did with Ingram and Kirk. I just realized that they had to go in a different direction. The way things sit right now, according to overthecap.com, Jacksonville still has $8,379,000. So they have money to do other things. I mean, they could put together a deal right now for Trayvon Walker and extend it if they wanted to. If there's anyone who's on the street, or, if they make a trade and they acquire a guy with a big-time contract, they still have flexibility salary cap-wise. The dead cap money does apply against the salary cap, along with IR and the practice squad. They all figure in, along with your 53-man active roster. All right, let's get ready for our second hour. As a matter of fact, we're going to begin our second hour with the Jaguars' third-year linebacker. That is Ventrell Miller. I caught up with him after practice today at the Miller Electric Center. So we'll begin there. Got much more to do with the Jaguars, but I don't want to get too far away from these huge 4 games in college football coming up on Saturday. Texas, Ohio State, Alabama, Florida State, LSU, Clemson, and Notre Dame, Miami. Your thoughts on any one of those 4 games, please give it to us. 641-1010 on the text line. Also on YouTube, you can go to 1010XL into the night.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser start the week by giving the ball to the best back in Duval.
And off, Fred Taylor.
Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein & Robbins DUI Defense Firm and Monahan Jewelers on 1010XL.
Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, a Jacksonville family business for nearly 70 years. Heck, I've been talking about them for over a decade. The Thompson family secret, Dandy's never frozen, always fresh baked bread with quality meats and cheeses, no dry, crumbly subs here, only soft and tasty deliciousness. When I see that logo with the little dude with the cane on the label, it tells me I'm getting a trusted brand, a quality sandwich. So do what I do and stop in at a Daly's and make yours a dandy today.
Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through August 31st. Financing's available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting, protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. It's more than 100 yards of grass. It's 100 years of tradition.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Friday Night Lights.
Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Maxed out on credit cards, struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
Guys, want a golf course fairway quality lawn? TopDressing.com just landed in Jacksonville with the golf course secret for St. Augustine grass homeowners. A patented process that aerates and turns your turf into a fairway stunner. Serious golf course technology, but in your yard. Less water, tighter cuts, total neighborhood domination. No one else scores a perfect 10 lawn. Hit TopDressing.com now. You will own the block. Top dress your yard like the pros with TopDressing.com.
When storms start to crop up in the Atlantic or Gulf this time of year, having a solid plan to handle anything that sweeps through the First Coast is very important. That's where American Electrical comes in. Ensure your home's safety and comfort with an American Electrical home generator. As the area's leading home generator dealer and installer, American Electrical can offer you easy installation, simple maintenance, and peace of mind. Schedule an assessment by simply calling the team at American Electrical. They'll walk you through the best generator for your home or business. Log on, american-electrical.com.
What does AM and PM stand for in terms of the clock?
Southern Oak Insurance is proud to continue offering coverage statewide. Financial stability makes Southern Oak Insurance a wise choice for your homeowner's insurance needs. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
AM stands for anti-meridium, before midday, and PM stands for post-meridium, afternoon.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Well, it's great to be with you right here on this Thursday night. Just think 1 week from tonight, the NFL underway. Tonight, some college football. Bunch of games ongoing. We're almost at half. South Florida up 10-7 over Boise State. Boise State, number 7 in the country. Actually went right by the Blue Field. My final vacation, flew out of Boise. Really cool. If you've never been out to Idaho, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And right now, South Florida, they struggled in the first quarter, right? Would you say 3 total yards in the first quarter?
I saw someone on Twitter say that, but since then they've caught fire and Boise fumbled, and South Florida's at midfield up 10-7 right now.
There you have it. Very latest there. Today, for the Jaguars, actually, let me get there in 30 seconds. I see Micah Parsons just penned something to the Dallas fans. That's, in my opinion, without even reading it, and I'm not going to read it, that's evil. It is. You can't turn around and thank the fans now. You were against the fans. You were against everything in Dallas. I know 99.9% of that is Jerry and Stephen Jones. But still, you laid down on a damn trainer's table when your teammates were out there. You just gave the middle finger to everyone in Dallas. Don't pen a goodbye letter. You know, you faked an injury, and that's what David, Mulugheta does. What an agent. Whether you're Jalen Ramsey or you're Micah Parsons, here's the tip. Fake a back injury, and we'll move you. And not only will we move you, we're going to get you paid to the tune of $188 million over the next 4 years. $136 million guaranteed. I don't think Jalen, did Jalen offer up a goodbye letter to the folks here in Duval? Do you remember?
I don't believe he did, or when he just left Miami.
I mean, have a little bit of respect for where you were. Those fans right now are grieving. Those fans right now are pissed. Okay? Whether they're pissed at you or they're pissed at Jerry Jones, they're upset. Enjoy yourself in Green Bay. There's a downtown Applebee's, and I think maybe a Chili's. All right, let's get to the Jaguars. They voted for captains, all right? And what Liam Cohen told us today is that they are going to now take that data, and they're going to talk about it as a staff, and they're going to announce the captains on Monday. I'd be really interested to see how this comes out, considering all the new guys that are a part of this football team, right? To me, it means a lot. I mean, you want your quarterback to be a captain. So I would expect that with Trevor Lawrence. Trying to figure out who else, though, offensively could possibly be considered a captain, right? Do you give it to Brian Thomas Jr. as a sophomore? Do you give it to him during his second year? I would think you would, right? I mean, off that offensive line, where the hell are you going? So this will be kind of cool. Defensively, there's more alphas there. There's more team leaders on the defense, in my opinion, and including even some imported ones, like a Jordan Lewis. I would think right now that Jordan Lewis, even though he's been here for a few months, will be an incoming captain. That's just a gut feel. I don't go around asking questions about captains. Again, it doesn't mean all that much to me. But in this case, I'm changing my tune just a little bit because I think with everything that the Jaguars have been lacking as of late, leadership is one of those components. And I'll say this about the brass. I believe that they've been honest with us. You're never fully honest. You don't have to be fully honest. You can call it tomfoolery. You can call it, some craftsmanship. You can tell it anything you want. But my guess is that secretly, privately, they're were concerned about leadership. And that's why half the roster has changed. And they brought in high-character guys. They brought in guys who, quote-unquote, love football. So I can tell you that over the decades, when the captains get announced, I don't even know if I've mentioned it. It's like in one ear and out the other. but I'm taking the exception to that this season. I think the captaincy of this team means something for the reasons that I just gave you. I mean, in high school football, where you coach, being a captain is very, very important.
Yeah, and in college too. I know high school, at least for us, I think that we rotate. So it's like, the seniors, and you kind of rotate every game. College is important, and I feel like it's almost irrelevant in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's almost like, the quarterback, you got the C on your chest, and, you might go out there. Sometimes it's the punter for the coin toss. But now it's almost like there's a weird trend, like with the Titans, they have 7 captains. Like that's a little egregious to me.
See, I've always felt that in the NFL, your best leaders, your true leaders, are your best players. You can be a rah-rah guy in high school and be a captain. I mean, I remember, just going back to, I lost him to cancer going back about 4 years now. I go back every year to home in Boston, and we play in his memorial golf tournament. He was not a great ball player, but he was a great team leader. He was a yeller. He was a screamer. He was a get you fired up type, which works in college. It certainly works in high school. Okay. I don't know how it exactly works in college. It doesn't work in pro football. Okay. I mean, you have to be a great player to be a leader. And if you look at the secondary and you look at comments that like Jerry and Jones made about the lack of leadership in that contain, and then all of a sudden you witness what Jordan Lewis has done, making plays day after day after day. And when you interview some of these younger guys, them telling you what he means, you got to believe that, there's an example of a captain that means something on that defense. Only time will tell. Buster Brown didn't work today, working with trainers. Wyatt Milam, I did not see. Don't know if he was out there. If so, I missed him. You got the return of Cole Van Lannon today. And that's important because I thought he'd go on IR. I did. I thought they would keep 9 offensive linemen, take their 10th offensive lineman, Cole Van Lannon, and put him on IR, meaning he'd miss at least 4 games. They did not make that move. They didn't make that move as well with Buster Brown. The fact that Buster wasn't working today has me believing he won't be ready to go against Carolina. Seeing Cole Van Lannon working today and doing things primarily, on the side. I'm trying to remember if he was involved in group work today. He was involved in some 2-on-2s and some stuff like that. But I want to say most of it was individual. I think there's maybe a chance that he's ready in a week. But anyway, that's good news there. Travis Hunter. James Gladstone told us yesterday he's fine. He worked today as a wide receiver, wearing the white jersey. Then during some group work, put on the teal penny and went on that side of the football. And it was classic Travis Hunter. Just out there, like there's no place he'd rather be. There practicing with his teammates. We saw Tim Patrick for the first time today wearing number 17. He did stick around after practice, and he did some extra drills. And, obviously he's way behind. Don't know if he'll be available for them against Carolina. I mean, what's the learning curve? This is an 8-year veteran who's going to have to really now become someone who studies and learns this offense. But, yeah, he's a big kid, man. He is 6'5", and he's got length. And, it was pretty good to see him out there a little bit earlier this afternoon. Okay, why don't we do it on the other side? Let's play the conversation I had with Ventrell Miller. It's hard to tell what's going on with that second linebacker. It's always Aloakon, but it's Lloyd and it's Miller. And there's been a rotation. It's mostly Gardeck as your starter at the Sam. So that's going to be interesting. I also think that Makari, when it's all said and done, is going to win that right guard job over Chuma Edoga. So there's another mistake that I'll take responsibility for. I know I have said on these airwaves many times it was going to be tough to knock Chuma Edoga out of the starting offensive line because he seemed to really take off early. I'm not saying he flatlined, but something happened. He got nicked up, missed a little bit of time. I watched him today working at both positions on the right side, so they feel really good about him being able to play both positions. And I would say in a pinch, be able to play on the left side if needed. But it just feels like it is going to be Makari as your starter at right guard. All right, let's come back. Let's hear from Ventrell Miller. Let's also get you back involved with everything that's happening. 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also on YouTube tonight, 1010XL into the night.
Get a look behind the throw with Denny Thompson.
Yeah, I want to tell you what's really happening at the quarterback position.
Denny Thompson is the quarterback whisperer. Friday mornings on The Drill, revved up by George Moore Chevrolet and Tyson Sound and Security on 1010XL.
At Keon Atlantic, the savings are back in session. You'll just need to follow these simple rules to make the most of your back to school. Step 1, switch out your car for an upgrade. Step 2, drive a new Kia starting at $20K. Step 3, make no payments for a whole 90 days. Hurry in to start back to school in a big way. Online at KeonAtlantic.com. Keon Atlantic, your coastal Kia connection. For complete details, call 904-250-0587.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your national builder of the year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% and homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit DFHSalesEvent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
Drafted by the Jags, built by the Gators, Chris Doran joins The Drill with Dan and Jeff to talk college football with you. Tuesday mornings at 7:20 on 1010XL. Protected by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Frangie, and I got to tell you, I can't fix anything. I would be so lost with plumbing problems if not for Duck Duck Rooter. But everybody knows to call the Duck. Well, I do too. Whether it's plumbing, air conditioning, septic, they handle all of it, and nobody does a better job than our friends at Duck Duck Rooter. Any of those needs you have, call them today, 904-862-6769, or go to duckduckrooter.com. If you've got problems, call Duck Duck Rooter. They'll handle it, I guarantee it.
Jacksonville is my hometown, and nobody knows roofing like me. I'm Ronnie, the owner of Brandon Roofing. We handle everything from repairs to full roof replacements, start to finish. We give honest quotes, use quality materials, and clean up like we were never there. We all look at Google reviews, so go ahead and check out ours. We're proud of all our 5-star ratings. I would say we treat you like family, but some people don't like theirs. Go to BrandonRoofing.com today to schedule your free roof quote.
License number CCC 1328006.
Here's your 1010XL community calendar of local events and nonprofit groups helping people here at home.
Shuffle up and deal for a cause. Let's go all in to help others out. Join the Hold'em for Life poker tournament coming up September 20th at Blessed Trinity Parish Hall. Every hand helps the Women's Help Center support expectant mothers and newborns.
Find out how you can be part of the cure for blood cancer at the Light the Night Walk at ViStar Ballpark November 22nd. Take the first step at lightthenight.org.
Dreams Come True is a local wish-granting organization giving dreams and special times to local children battling life-threatening illnesses. Find out how you can help at dreamscometrue.org.
City Rescue Mission has been providing food, clothing, and love for over 70 years to the homeless in Jacksonville. If someone you know is struggling, learn more about the City Rescue Mission at crmjax.org.
You can find out how to share your community event at 1010XL.com.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago. Went smooth as silk, was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who is having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and Triumph has been a legend on-road. They've branched out to their off-road division as well. Give us the latest on what you can find on the asphalt.
They've got some great new products. They've got the Scrambler 400s you can get into for a little less than you might think. It's a great price point bike, but still a Triumph.
So affordability is also part of the equation.
It is, and it looks good, and it rides good.
CyclesOfJacksonville.com, or check them out on their Facebook page. The showroom ready and waiting for you on Atlantic near Regency at Cycles of Jacksonville.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Halftime in Tampa, South Florida, up 10-7 over 25th ranked Boise State. That's going on right now. A lot of football on this Thursday. I just saw that Joe Tessitore and Jesse Palmer will be calling the Florida State-Alabama game. Florida State fans, make sure you roll out the garnet carpet once again for Joe Tessitore. Okay? Boy, did you ever turn the other cheek when he rolled in, 2 weeks after his awful broadcasting saying that Texas should be in and Alabama should be, and all of that crap. He came into the Blitnikoff Award in Tallahassee, gave him whatever he wanted. And by the way, I would never, ever, 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 ever advocate anything that is violent. That's not what I'm trying to say here. What I am trying to say is roll out the red carpet like you did last time. Welcome them in. And forget about the fact that him and Dr. Herbie and Paul Feinbaum and their just insane agenda had massive effects on the playoff committee. Roll out the garnet carpet for them. Because that's what you do. You did it in 1996. And you did it 2 years ago. Okay? You take the beating. You may yell on message boards or you may yell at me, but you don't do or say anything to those who made that happen. He'll be there Saturday, 3:30, Florida State, Alabama. All right, Ventrell Miller, third-year linebacker, really has had a great camp. I got to tell you, he was working out after practice today. He tells us about it during the interview. But this man was moving and running individual, sprints on his own, gassers on his own. Had an opportunity to catch up with Ventrell Miller after practice today at the Miller Electric Center.
Now, Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors takes you in the locker room.
All right, Thursday we're here with linebacker Ventrell Miller, who's doing some extra work today. Man, you're running gassers.
Yeah, just to check the real speed for real. So I was supposed to get 19 miles per hour, so hopefully I ran 20 today. So see if I still got the speed.
Did you get your results yet?
No, not yet. I got to go back inside whenever. Yeah, looking for 20 though. Probably a little 20 for sure.
Yeah. All right, training camp's over. Preseason is over. 10 days away from an NFL game. How you feeling?
I'm excited, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Excited to go actually do it for real this time. Preseason games was good little warm up, but excited to go out and, like I said, first game. So energy high for that one for sure.
I talked with you early on during training camp, and that was when the installation of this new defense was going in. Right. Now that you've had a month and some change, how do you feel about it?
Feeling really confident about it. Like I said, always coming out trying to get better at something. Always working to get better, but feeling confident in the game plan, in the schemes. Sure.
You added some veteran defensive tackles. I know there hasn't been a lot of opportunities with live hitting and what have you, but do you get a better sense now what this depth is going to be like as far as opening up opportunities for you guys at linebacker?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Those guys in the trenches definitely take care of the hard work, keep us free. But it basically work hand in hand. Like once we start getting downhill, the double teams will start coming up and those boys will start making plays. So excited about the guys up front, make my job easier. So thankful for those guys.
Yeah. You expect to start?
I mean, I guess that's out of my control. right now, just looking to control what I can control. I know the upstairs make those decisions, but like I said, I try to put my best foot forward this count for sure.
How does this 53 look compared to when you were a rookie and obviously you were injured and as well last year?
Knowing it's just business to me. Like you said, got some new faces, so definitely a new team from last year. But yeah, I don't know. It's the business thing, but definitely excited about the guys we got. Looking forward to going out this first game competing.
All right, last one for you. Have you begun to look at Carolina, or would that begin in a day or so?
Yeah, we definitely been looking at Carolina, doing a little film on them, installing some plays that we probably might have in for that week. But definitely been installing and getting the feel for them.
Awesome, Ventrell. Thank you.
All right, appreciate that.
You know, I'd love to see in a base defense, Ventrell on the other side, whether it's weak side, strong side. It just doesn't feel that way. It's the rotation with Devin Lloyd. They do have confidence in Dennis Gardeck to be your starter on the Sam side, on the strong side. And there's a guy right there you just don't know when you look at Gardeck. They really like him. He didn't showcase a lot of stuff during camp or during the preseason because he's coming off the torn ACL. But I know that privately they love him, and they think he's a guy that can really be a big part of this. It's going to be fascinating to me, and it should be to you, to see what they do defensively, what they employ. And when you look at a guy like Dennis Gardeck, how much is he going to blitz? I would imagine he's the guy coming off the field in nickel. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they take out Devin Lloyd. Maybe they say he's a problem in coverage. But I just think Ventrell Miller is a better football player. It'd be great to see those three out there, but it doesn't feel like that is going to be the case. We won't know officially until that matchup against Carolina. It says here, Ballou, someone just asked me, can the Jaguars stop 3rd and 7? I don't have an answer for you right now. I mean, it was their third down defense last year. Was it high 30s, maybe 40%? I mean, every statistical category the Jaguars had a year ago was not good. I'm trying to taper enthusiasm because I was burnt so severely by Ryan Nielsen. I mean, that guy won me over with his words. His talking. And again, I know I'm rare from others. I'll actually admit mistakes. There's two things members of the media hate to admit. Number one, that they're surprised, right? I mean, I'm sure there's no one right now who's saying, I'm surprised that they actually traded Micah Parsons. I'll tell you what, I'm surprised. I thought when push came to shove, they'd get the deal done. Okay, maybe I should have done a little bit more homework and realized that they have the master of bad backs as the agency in Mulligetta. And hey, here's the plan, Micah. Fake a back injury. What we want you to do is lay on the trainer's table during the game, and we'll force you out of doubt. Maybe I should have known that. But that's number one, is admitting that you're surprised. And number two is admitting that you're wrong. And I tell you what, you do things like that, you can really sleep much better at night. 28-11, Ballou. Trevor Lawrence has not earned the right to be a captain. I disagree. There needs to be more. Saw something today where, I always respect PR and the public relations. I don't ever want to say anything about scheme and stuff that isn't supposed to be reported. But let's just say that recently I noticed a situation where a player, a wide receiver, was not doing the right thing. And it was a botched play. And it was Lawrence who was in his grill telling him what the correct play was. So, in my opinion, there is a part of leadership that is improving. I know what you want, the 28-11. I know what you want. You want emotion. You want Tom Brady. You want Phillip Rivers. You want Mark Brunell. You want Peyton. You want to see a guy who wears it right on his chest. That now in year 5, if the offensive line sucks like it has in his first 4 years, he goes to that offensive line and he says something. And if guys are running the wrong routes and guys have false starts and guys are dropping footballs, you want your quarterback to become that type of guy. I just don't think that's the way he's wired. You can't force it on someone. You know, leaders are born in a lot of ways. Can you develop a leader? Can you create a leader? I mean, do you have to have, biologically speaking, do you have to have whatever it is, genetically speaking, in you? If we're talking about consistently being a leader, sure, you can put on, false bravado, but that's going to go away. I think he has improved as a leader. He needs to become a better leader. There's no question about that. No doubt. But I do disagree with that, 28-11. That he should not be a leader. 0505 Blue. I love that Cohen has stressed mental and physical toughness. You see it in the roster. I see 10 wins this year minimum. Let's go. I got to tell you right now, 0505, I think everyone out there listening right now would sign up for 10 wins without even blinking. 10 wins, I believe, wins the AFC South. So I'm not going to do this to you on the 28th of August, okay? But look at what they just did. They just ripped up half their roster. It's not going to happen overnight. The word patient should never be thrown to you as a Jaguars fan. I mean, you can be told anything by anyone as far as the verbiage. But if the word patience ever gets thrown at you, my advice would be just go to a bar. Uber it. What are we drinking? Pat's Blue Ribbon. Maybe some wild turkey. I don't know. But you should never be told to be patient. But it's not going to happen overnight, folks. It's just not going to happen. Okay? I still really have concerns in the ditch. That's scary to me. Now, they've made a lot of moves here, and we'll see what happens. They got 6 edge, 5 DTs. They got rid of draft picks and Jefferson and Lacey because they think bringing in veterans with experience, the way that they've done the last couple of weeks, is going to really help them out. We'll see. Offensive line, I still don't have a feel. I still don't know if this football team can pick up a 3rd and 2, a 3rd and 1, a 4th and 1. We saw some razzle-dazzle with the jet sweep with Diami Brown. Well, that's Liam Cohen's offense. I know some of you. I know when I saw it, I was like, what? Why do this in a preseason game? A meaningless preseason game against backups. But I think the truth there is that's what he does. That's what his offense does. So why get away from it? But isn't there a part of you, Dylan, that really wants to see against Carolina next Sunday a 3rd and 2 and hand the ball to whether it's Tank or ETN? I got to believe those are the two. One of the two, and see if they can pick up a first down behind the offensive line.
I think every Jaguar fan would want to see that. And I think when they see that and then when the Chains move for a first down, I think Jags fans will finally feel relieved that they haven't seen that in 3 to 4 years.
Been a very, very long time. It has. But they have stressed that. That was stressed yesterday as well by James Gladstone. Your general manager was talking about the improvement with physicality on this football team. Tell you what, and I guess I would probably have said this about everyone that's come through, because I don't, believe it or not, I don't dislike too many people, right? I dislike coaches, front office executives, players, if they don't live up to what they're supposed to be. I don't get disappointed. I don't get sad. I get pissed. Okay? I get mad. And there's a major difference there. Getting sad for me is really, really hard. My dad passed 2 months ago. Okay, I was sad. But I don't get sad when things don't work for teams that I like. I get mad. There's a huge difference. And last year was the worst I've ever seen. I mean, it was just awful with Bulky and Peterson. You see what you're getting here with Cohen and Gladstone, man, and Baselli. You want to see them do well. They're good people. You know what I mean? And I always thought Doug Peterson was a good guy until Doug Peterson quit. Doug Peterson checked out. You know, how many times have we seen that? Dan Mullen checked out. Jimbo Fisher checked out. I mean, you love the Gators, you love the Knowles, you love the Jaguars. You've had coaches around here who have checked out despite making millions and millions. So that's what gets me. And, you know, I don't, maybe, you know, I've been fooled again. I just told you I was fooled a year ago by Ryan Nielsen. I was totally fooled by what he said. Right now, I believe in this turn, but it's not going to happen overnight, folks. It's just not. 10 wins, as our last texter said, would be incredible. So thank you to the 0505. All right, we got much more to do, including Dylan and I. We're going to make the picks on the 4 big games coming up this weekend. We'll grab some more from you as well. 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also to those watching tonight on YouTube, thank you. You can join them. Go to 1010XL into the night.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey, school's in session, and here's today's lesson. We have hundreds of certified vehicles to choose from, starting as low as $89.99. Plus, they come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile peace of mind warranty and free oil changes. That means you and your soon-to-be drivers will be protected. Plus, every purchase allows us to fund teachers' projects for the entire school year. Your next assignment, get to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine, Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville, or Beaver Mitsubishi in St. Augustine. We're here to wow you and our teachers.
AA Automotive helps keep your vehicle in dependable and safe condition. Call Sam, Harry, or Joe, and they'll check your brakes, tires, fluids, electric, and motor, so your ride runs smooth on the road. That's AA Automotive on Richard Street.
Interested in a unique date night? Gibby here. I took my wife Nikki to Wick a Candle Bar. She made her own custom candle right there in the store. Shop local at Wick a Candle Bar. Locations in San Marco and Jax Beach.
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mocama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect pilsners and lagers, matching memories and some Mocama magic is what it's all about. Mocama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mocama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
Is your backyard ready for the big leagues? Pick it here for Surfside Pools. Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, they have the home field advantage. Family owned and operated, offering weekly pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools make your backyard dreams a reality. Are you ready to float happy? Visit SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, your hometown MVP.
License number CPC 044080. David here with Royal Pest Services. It's back. Our summer Centricon Termite Special. New installs begin as low as $249. And if you have existing Centricon, but your renewal is through the roof, we can transfer you to Royal at no cost. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free estimate. Your home is your sanctuary where memories are made. Jack's homeowners trust Superior Fence and Rail to make their home feel safe, secure, and complete. Imagine a classic wood fence for privacy, sturdy aluminum to protect your pets, or a modern vinyl design that boosts curb appeal. Every fence is built with precision and pride, standing strong in every season.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Hey Jacksonville, this is Chip Davis, director of the Flounder Pounder Fishing Tournament. We are fast approaching our 16th annual tournament benefiting the Jacksonville School for Autism. With the help of our amazing community, we raised over $1.4 million the last 15 years. This year's tournament will be held at Palm Valley Outdoors on the Intercoastal Waterway. Captain's meeting is Thursday night, October 9th, and the tournament is Saturday, October 11th. I'm inviting you and your family to come out and enjoy our tournament festivities, raise some money, and support autism awareness. Special thanks to U.S. Army Recruitment Jacks for their support. Flounder Pounder for Autism 2025. See you there.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, we're going to get to our abbreviated edition of picks. We got 4 games, but I got to salute the 83-34 who just penned. Nielsen won you over with words. Talk is cheap, according to Anthony Campanelli. So there you go. Well said. That's why I'm interactive with listeners. That's why Dylan and I do it, because you teach us too. We say that in a very humble way. Appreciate the fact that we're able to do this with you every night. Love going back with Jaguar fans. And someone else just asked me, tomorrow I'll be on 4 to 6 on 1010 only, and that's going to be the case during high school football. But you can guarantee my elbows will be dug into the Blue Crab House bar at about 6:45. And I got an early tea time Saturday morning, real early, because I got to be back, Dylan, in time for Texas, Ohio State, which is our first game.
Yeah, and we got to watch the final segment of College Game Day, the send-off for Lee Corso.
Right.
I feel like that you have to watch. You have to start your day that way and then watch 12 hours of college football.
Yeah, I'll probably see it on, a reel or something. I can't lie to you. I can't lie to anyone. I gave up watching Game Day probably 5, 6, 7 years ago. Just can't handle it. It's such a dog and pony show, in my opinion. Okay, but if that's your thing, hey, have at it. All right, let's start. Texas, Ohio State. You're up. Which way are you going?
I'm going to lean Texas. I know everybody's talking about a lot of the talent that's been lost from Ohio State. Texas also had 12 guys that were drafted in this past draft. So they have to replace a lot of talent. But I lean Texas just because of Arch Manning.
So much pressure on him. So much pressure on Steve Sarkisian. I really do. I really want to pick Ohio State. And I really believe... See, this is one of these deals. And I know it's hard to do. But the older that I get, the easier this becomes. I honestly can watch a game and not care who wins. It's very rare to do that. And it took me a number of years. I tell you what, gambling used to affect that, obviously. But I want Ohio State here. I'm tired of all this Texas crap. It's like they invented football and there's no... I mean, I see Ohio State in some climate. I guess it's already raining in Columbus. Is being very difficult to beat. But I'm going to go the other way here. Okay, the tomfoolery is in for me as well. I think Texas wins this game at high noon on Saturday. And Dylan, that's a huge component. Don't let that fool anyone. If this game was at 7 o'clock at night or 8 o'clock at night with liquored up Buckeye fans, that would add an extra element. Texas getting this game on the road at noon, I think, is huge for the road team.
Without a doubt, that's an atmosphere changer. Having the ability to tailgate all day and have that energy build up throughout the day, as compared to most college students just getting out of bed at 10 a.m. and then going straight to the stadium. I know, a lot of them will, tailgate, but I mean, it's just the atmosphere is not the same as compared from a noon game to a 7 or 8 o'clock game.
Alabama at Florida State, 3:30. Foul weather expected. Everything has changed at Florida State, the new stadium, all this, all that. I hope it doesn't have a wine and cheese feel to it. It feels like it's for the upper class only. And it's incredibly expensive to try to get a ticket to this game. I hope Florida State can do something early. I hope Florida State can move the ball. I hope they can defend Alabama. I'm being realistic here. I think when it's all said and done, Bama has far better players, and they're also a better coached team. Florida State has phenomenal fans, okay? Some of the best in the country. But you can also take those fans out of the game pretty quickly if you make massive mistakes like what Florida State teams have done really for the last 7-8 years. And that even applied with Bowden and Jimbo. Florida State teams have always made mistakes. The deal back then is they were so good and had so many players that for the most part you could get out of it while making mistakes. This current team can't do that. And you got a brand new quarterback, starting new wide receivers are brand new, 4/5 of your offensive line is brand new, 5 guys in your defense is brand new. Alabama, I think, really gets this ugly in the second half. As I said, Dylan, I'm taking Alabama 42-17.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be that much of a blowout. I'll be surprised if it's that big, but I think it might be a game at half. But I think Bama, I don't think there's I don't think Florida State's going to be within striking distance in the second half. So I think I'll take Alabama at least by 17.
The Battle of Death Valleys. I've been lucky enough to be at both Baton Rouge and Clemson. More times at Clemson than Baton Rouge. Yeah, here's where I am with actually, it's your pick first. Clemson, LSU, which way you go?
I'll lean home team just because they're at home. So I lean Clemson by a field goal. That atmosphere is going to be rocking. And like I said earlier, LSU, first 3 years under Brian Kelly, lost to Florida State, lost to USC in Vegas a year ago. I think LSU has a talented roster, but I think Clemson is at home is too much.
I think Clemson has a better coach. And in the case of Dabo Swinney, he learned. He finally went to the transfer portal, and he's added some good football players. They have the best quarterback in the ACC, maybe the best quarterback in the country. They're going to be a very good defensive team as well. LSU is a team that is going to find a way to score, and they got a very good quarterback in Nussmeier. I just think that everything I said about the noon kickoff favoring Texas at Ohio State, the exact opposite takes place here on opening day at Clemson. I bet they've already begun to tailgate there. If you've never been to a game at Clemson, it is just I've never lost, as a Florida State fan, I've never lost to Clemson. I've been there 6 times, and they've won all 6. You would think that Florida State alumni, Florida State boosters would be like, let's get Ballou on a plane for Death Valley. He doesn't lose in Death Valley. First time I was ever there was 1988. You ever hear of the Punt Ruski with Hall of Famer Leroy Butler? You ever hear of the Deion Sanders punt return? Okay, and I look at this game, and I just think too much at home. Clemson gets it done. Now, I think Clemson's going to get popped in the mouth once they get to the playoffs. I think they'll run through the ACC 11-1, 12-0. But I do think time will run out for them in the playoffs. But I like them to win tomorrow night. Let's get one more pick in. Notre Dame, Miami.
I know you're not supposed to pick games this way, but I think Miami's going to split Notre Dame, Florida, and I think Florida will beat Miami in a couple weeks. So I would have to take Miami. The biggest question is, what is Miami going to do against Jeremiah Love in the run game for Notre Dame? I think that's the number one key. If you can limit him and contain him, because obviously he's going to get his, Miami has a decent shot, but I'll lean Miami, the home team. Because if they fall to week 1, I like Florida's chances in a couple weeks.
You look at the quarterbacks, Carson Beck, all his starts, very good offensive line. And problem with Miami is when they get rattled, they, and I'd like to say that they go away, but the mark of their team a year ago under Mario Cristobal was coming from behind to win games. They seem to do that almost weekly. So, being down here against Notre Dame a possession or two isn't the end of it. They just showed a season ago. They also did it with the best player in college football, arguably. Best player in college football not named Travis Hunter. With Cam Ward, your top overall pick. Carson Beck, I think you could write a storyline and go any way for Beck. He moves himself into, late first round, early second round draft pick, or a guy that just kind of, becomes a Riley Leonard type of quarterback, a former Notre Dame quarterback. Tell you what I'm going to do, and this is something that I would normally not do, but I'm going to do it on Saturday night. The home field advantage will not favor Miami. Notre Dame's going to travel. That's going to be 50-50. I keep hearing all of these incredible things about C.J. Carr, the rookie, the freshman quarterback at Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame has a better roster than Miami, and I'm going to take Notre Dame here over Miami Sunday night. So there you go. Picks are in. We both like Texas over Ohio State. We both like Bama over Florida State. We both like Clemson at home against LSU, and I'll take Notre Dame. Dylan Denmark is going to take the U.
Start the season with a college football storm. The Hurricanes and Fighting Irish. Tradition, talent, and touchdowns. Miami, Notre Dame. Sunday night at 7:30 on Jacksonville's college football station, 1010XL.
Lee Bryce. What you know about that tour? Saturday, September 13th, St. Augustine Amphitheater. With special guests Ashley Cook and Lewis Bryce. Award-winning country sensation Lee Bryce. On sale now at AXS.com. Don't miss Lee Bryce Live.
Joint replacement surgery is always a tough decision, but relief from chronic pain may be just around the corner. Dr. George Barry here, and there's a lot to consider to make sure you get the proper diagnosis and best path back to the range of motion and mobility you had. Age, lifestyle, and overall health all play a part. Let the team at Barry Orthopedics give you a full analysis to help you make the best decision. Log on to BarryOrthopedics.com or call the office to make an appointment. With offices across Jacksonville and ready to help you feel good again, we'll get you back on the road to recovery at Barry Orthopedics.
Get the real story from people who know the beautiful game best. The Coaches Show, presented by Sporting Jacks with Cole Pepper, Sporting Jacks head of soccer Mark Warburton, and Sporting Jacks women's coach Stacy Ballum. Tuesday nights at 6
on 1010 a.m.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your national builder of the year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% and homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
Football is a game of inches, and at Front Runners Tap House, every inch counts. Catch every big play on their massive 396-inch giant television. The ultimate game day experience is waiting for you at Front Runners Tap House inside the Community First Igloo.
Did you know that basketball and volleyball were invented at the YMCA? That's right, and even today, the Y continues to lead the way in youth sports programming, from toddlers just starting out to teens ready to compete. The Y offers skill development, recreational play, and competitive leagues, all in a fun, supportive environment. Get your child in the game to build character and skills at the Y. Registration is now open for youth volleyball and soccer at fcymca.org.
Fall is here. The air is crisp. Football is on, and the perfect backyard atmosphere starts with a high-quality fireplace from CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Hey, it's Joe C. Imagine nights by the fire, cheering on your team, surrounded by friends and family. CSS can transform your outdoor space into the ultimate game day destination. Stylish, warm, and built for memories. With several wood, gas, and electric options, let CSS make your backyard the best seat in the house. Visit CSSFireplaces.com.
Jacksonville is my hometown, and nobody knows roofing like me. I'm Ronnie, the owner of Brandon Roofing. We handle everything from repairs to full roof replacements, start to finish. We give honest quotes, use quality materials, and clean up like we were never there. We all look at Google reviews, so go ahead and check out ours. We're proud of all our 5-star ratings. I would say we treat you like family, but some people don't like theirs. Go to BrandonRoofing.com today to schedule your free roof quote.
License number CCC 13280006.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
Well, the Jaguars today were back out there. We got to watch them practice for probably 90 minutes or so. Tim Patrick wearing number 17, big dude, no doubt. Trevor had a tall wide receiver, had a couple of them at Clemson. He's had some around here, but they've never really been able to get on the field. Cole Van Lannon was back today. That's newsworthy. He's been out for well over a month. Travis Hunter back full speed. James Gladstone told us that yesterday. He was on the grass Wednesday. Well, he was on the grass today. We watched him in a white jersey playing wide receiver. Then he would put on the teal penny and work on defense as well. Really, the only two guys we did not see today, Wyatt Milam. I actually did see Buster Brown. I know Hacker did as well. He's coming up here. He was doing some work on the side with the training staff. Finally, they added 2 practice squad players, a defensive lineman and Matt Dickerson, also a wide receiver, Eric Azukan-Ama, who played his college football at Texas Tech.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Not Hacker. Today might have been our final day out there for any long period of time at the Miller Electric Center.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I thought before the cuts was going to be our last day. I don't know if we got to do this last year after the cuts.
Don't think we did.
Yeah, for the entire practice. But no, it was good. You could tell there was a regular season vibe kind of to it. You know, they're kind of getting out of the training camp mode, getting more into the regular season mode. They'll now be able to decompress for about 72 hours. And then they come back Monday, and it's game week as they will begin preparing for the Carolina Panthers. Actually, I did find it interesting. They started preparing a little bit for Carolina today. You could see some of the pennies the guys were wearing. Yeah. So, number 8 for J.C. Horn, 95 for Derek Brown. So you saw a little bit of that today.
Yeah, that was good to see. And, you know, again, I'm glad they allowed us out there to actually switch the fields. Instead of going north and south, they were going east and west. So that was a little bit of a different look. But it was good to get out there. And, you know, now we'll be watch them stretch, and then a couple hours later, locker room access. So, you know, I've said it forever. This is my favorite thing to do. So, you know, that came to an end today.
Yeah, I'll miss it a little bit.
It's hot out there, I know, for a lot of people.
When you do an 8 o'clock show in the evening and practice is at 8:40 in the morning, it's made for a long month. But nevertheless, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I'm very fortunate to do what I do, and the Jaguars have given us pretty unbelievable access. And the Jaguar PR staff, I know you've done one-on-ones every single day. I've done one-on-ones every single day. I had Jonah Monheim today, and we'll play that conversation tonight on Hacker After Dark. So Emily and Dylan and John and Amanda and all the folks out there have been unbelievable as far as helping us out with those interviews.
Yeah, no doubt. They do an outstanding job. And, now we get into the grind of a 17-game, 18-week season. All right, what's going on? What do you have for us?
Yeah, I mentioned Jonah Monheim. A cool story, 7th-round pick.
I saw him walk over to you, man. He looks like a wrestler with the new and all that stuff. Yeah.
Well, and then he's a 7th-round pick, and it was a no-brainer that he was going to make the roster.
Yeah.
They traded Luke Fortner because of how much they like Jonah Monheim. So I asked him about that. I asked him about the confidence the team has in him to trade Luke because of you. So we'll talk to Jonah Monheim about that. My buddy Matt Hayes, you hear him every day on Primetime. And I made this point to Matt during the interview. He didn't bring it up, certainly, but I did. You know, we hear him every day on Primetime, right? I do hope people here in Jacksonville realize that he is one of the best college football writers in America.
Yeah.
I mean, he's phenomenal for the USA Today. The opinions he has, the stories he gets. So we're going to preview the college football season with Matt coming up here in about 20 minutes or so. And just a lot of college football. I'll tell you this. I had a Gator fan text me about 5 minutes ago. USF, who Florida plays next week, kind of got some attention. I mean, they're beating Boise midway through the third quarter for whatever that's worth.
They just had a sick fake punt for a touchdown. Went 50 yards.
USF did?
Yeah, 17-7.
Yeah, I mean, USF's up on Boise midway through the third. Boise's a ranked team. So if you're a Gator fan, it's a kind of a walkover Saturday against Long Island. But pay attention to USF because they might beat Boise State tonight.
We'll see. And I'm glad you said that about Matt Hayes. I worked with him, of course, at Sporting News.
Yeah.
And he was I missed the Sporting News. I thought they were great in the world of college football with the preseason magazine and everything they did. But, of course, that was many, many years ago. All right, Hack, have a fun show.
Thanks, Rick.
It's going to do it for us. Remember, tomorrow I will be on 1010 from 4 to 6 p.m. High school football. So if you like Into the Night, Friday for the next couple of months, we will be on 4 to 6 on 1010 only. Okay? Thank you to Tim Brando. Thank you to Ventrell Miller. Thank you to Dylan Denmark. My name is Rick Ballou. Again, we'll talk tomorrow, 4 to 6 on 1010 on the AM. We'll do it then.